Visit fountaingroveinn.com. Welcome back here to the PM Show Weekend Edition on CRN Digital Talk Radio. I'm Michael Horn, ladies and gentlemen. The one and only Robert Conrad. We have our webcams going when we do the show live on Thursdays at 3 Pacific, 6 Eastern. And if you check out those webcams live, you'll see Bob cutting a sort of a mean...
No, it's an easy
move. It's kind of an easy beat.
Lightweight stuff, baby.
If you're listening on radio or on cable, you can check it out on YouTube when you go to our website at crntalk.com. Just click on YouTube in the upper left-hand corner. Check out Uncle Bob.
Hey, Friday.
Yes.
We can hit it. If we hit it early, we won't have a problem. If we hit it like kind of midstream, which is like 11 o'clock,
yep,
possible problem. 1 o'clock, definite problem.
What are we hitting?
Club Deliza.
The what?
The Club Deliza.
The Club Deliza, is that we're going to hit it?
On 55th Street.
Oh, on 55th Street. So you want to be in there by 1 o'clock?
Well, I want you, white boy, to be in there by 1 o'clock because you don't speak the language. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going in with you.
That's right, brother.
I'm just hanging out with you.
Right. Okay, good. So I'm happy to hear that you'll be there because I don't know if that club's probably been down for 50 years.
Could be, but it could be going strong.
All right, now those people that have called and have been waiting, what I think we need to do is go to Brian, John, Sue, and Gary, and then we're going to do emails, and then Bill Paxton's coming in, and I found out that my son, I'm going to wait for him to acknowledge it, that my son Shane, the actor, acted with him in something.
Really? But Shane acted with Bill Paxton?
Yeah, I called Shane just before the show and said something else on another matter, and I mentioned, he said, who's the guest? And I told him, he said, oh, yeah, I starred with him in something.
That's very good. Okay, our call-in numbers, ladies and gentlemen. We do the show, as I mentioned, live on Thursdays. That's when you want to call in, 800-336-2225. We do the show between 3 and 5 Pacific time. 800-336-2225. Lines are jamming now, but they'll open up as the calls go by. If you're listening on the weekend, to the weekend edition of the show, when the show airs a few times, email us. We do get to the emails eventually. We're going to try to get to some today. The email address is rconrad for Robert, R, the letter R, Conrad, C-O-N-R-A-D, at crni.net. That stands for Conrad Radio Network Interactive.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Change the name of the network.
Well, it's great for the ego because the name, is Conrad Robert Falk, and nobody uses that.
Conrad Robert Network.
Yeah. Well, whatever. Anyway, 7.5.
Right now, you started out at a 7.5 today.
It was an 8 last week. We were 0.5 because a little
intro
personal,
was off.
A little personal. It knocked me off the 8.
Just knocked you off the 8?
Yeah.
So it wasn't my intro?
No, your intro was wonderful.
Thank you.
Are you kidding me? I always wanted, when I was a little boy growing up, I wanted to, hey, just for trivia, and then, hey, Brian would come to you, John would come to you, Sue and Gary would come to you. They would give you emails,
yeah.
But trivia.
Trivia. We love trivia on this show.
I went into Mushy Callahan, and he ran the gymnasium at the Warner Brothers.
Yes.
And as I've explained before to our listeners, no money, but what you did get was an opportunity to work with the top-of-the-line
coaches and
coaches for learning to act, and then a gymnasium where you could learn to do anything. Sit-ups, or we had 6-packs before they were in, or you could learn to box or whatever. So being as young as I was and coming from a kind of a mixed background, I went up to Mushy. I said, hey, Mushy, let me ask you a question, man. Who was the man? It was James Cagney. And he said, no. I said, it was my favorite actor, John Garfield. He said, no.
Who was it?
I said, who was it?
Not Garfield, not Cagney.
Yeah, I said, who was the toughest actor that you ever worked with?
And he said?
Earl Flynn.
Errol Flynn?
Yeah, Earl Flynn, and then he went and...
Wow.
He said, I think you hit harder than Earl.
Was Errol Flynn a boxer? He was
from New Zealand. He was...
wow.
He was more a street fighter.
Errol Flynn, he wasn't a tall guy, but he could pack a power.
Yeah, he was up there, I think. I don't know the stats on him. I think he was up there because I met him, and he was overweight. And
I had read an article years ago that he would wear shoes that were a little bit higher in certain roles because of the camera perspectives and things like that.
Well, I don't know that to be true or not. When I met him, it wasn't. He was in regular shoes.
Regular shoes.
He was going on his yacht with that young girl that he had the scandal about.
Ooh, who was that?
I can't remember her name now. She was 17, and I think he was in his 40s.
So underage kind of a
it's
thing.
like a Bob Conrad thing, you know.
Oh, it was
the younger
not.
the better.
Please, come on.
So anyway, he, having been told he was a kind of rugged guy, loving his acting thing, he was the first of, what's this kid now that's doing all that stuff? He had a TV series for 6 years, and the women think he's the hottie. He lives in France. He's like married to a French girl.
No, not Jean-Claude Van Damme.
No, who is the kid? He makes all these movies aboard these ships with his sword out all the time. He's got a movie.
Oh, Johnny Depp?
Johnny Depp,
Johnny Depp.
yeah. Well, before Johnny Depp was Earl. And you know
Depp
where that
lives in France?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. But you know where the In Like Flynn comes from, don't you?
Where? How does it come?
He made the mistake of having relationships with a couple of teenage girls, like 16, something like that. What are you smiling for?
I don't know if I want to hear the rest of the story.
No. So anyway, they filed a lawsuit.
Yes.
And he was found not guilty. And right afterwards, they were leaving the courtroom, and the writers were going, "Hey, In Like Flynn, man, In Like Flynn." And now people, you say, "Hey, how you doing?" And they go, "I'm In Like Flynn." They don't know what the hell they're talking about.
But that's the story.
Yes, but I did not ask Earl that when I met him.
Because you're too classy.
Thank you very much.
But if you were on this show today, I might ask that question, and then you get angry with me.
No, I wouldn't get angry.
All right.
I mean, you know, come on. So let's talk to Brian in
Brian.
Nashville. Hey, Brian, how you doing, brother?
Hello, guys.
Hey, Brian.
Great to talk to you all today.
Thank you.
Good to
Nice
talk
talking
to
to you.
you.
We got a whole list of stuff, so let's get on with it. What's going on, man?
Okay, and I want to say I thought you were going to forget about Ponce Ponce, but you added him at the last.
No, I love
yeah.
Ponce. And he could box too, incidentally. And he came from the Philippines, but he was from, where was Ponce from? The fighter last Saturday, that horrible fight.
Philippines, Pacquiao.
Yeah, he was from that fight. Oh gosh, that was embarrassing.
It was embarrassing.
Oh,
really?
it was embarrassing.
I didn't
Anyway,
see
go
it.
ahead, Brian.
Well, I just wanted to welcome Michael back to the show.
Thank you, Brian.
Glad he's back.
Is he back?
Wonderful job.
Hang on a minute.
Wonderful job. Okay.
Is he back, Brian?
Yes, I'm
Well,
over here. Look over
I think
here.
he might be suffering from jet lag because he said something about the wrong bill.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was on the list.
Anyway,
I was in that back car on the train.
I'm sorry I stepped on your congratulating Tomas for his wonderful job. Go ahead and say anything you like.
Right. I just wanted to tell you that Tomas, in his introduction last week, it was so short that you had 3 more callers last week than normal.
Thank you very much for that. Get your little thing that you press when it's
I'm
funny.
just
Wait a minute,
Mike.
Brian. Go and hit your little button. Hit your little button. Okay. All right, go ahead, Brian.
Go
What
ahead,
else?
Brian.
Hey, I
That's
did
good.
that one pretty good, huh?
That was
Yeah,
not
that's
bad.
good.
It's not bad.
All right. Well, anyway, you guys had a big write-up. Jennifer posted something on Facebook about the show and the Birmingham newspaper.
Yeah.
And it came. I just saw it right before I came on the air with you all.
Oh,
and I didn't
good.
get a chance to read it.
Yeah, well, I haven't read it, but she mentioned it to me, too, so I'm going to read it after show.
And I think I need to call Michael Sir. I didn't know he was the CEO. So, Sir, I'm sorry.
Hey, it's just
so
Mike.
jammed.
Come on, Brian. Just take it easy.
Yeah, CEO of what? What
Take
the hell
it
does that
easy.
stand for?
Of your career right
well,
now.
Yeah,
ladies and
thank
gentlemen.
you.
Thank you.
That's what you
Yeah,
think.
That's right.
That's another conversation.
That's a good one.
All right, so anything you want to ask
One
people?
last thing, I've got an episode for you if you bring back the Wild Wild West.
Okay.
Right now, we're suffering from the invasion of cicadas
Yeah,
here
so.
in the South.
Yeah, and?
Hundreds of thousands of them. So it'd be the night of the giant cicadas. How about that?
I think it's terrible.
I like that.
Okay, never mind.
Thanks for the call.
This one.
Hey, thanks for being part of your show, brother.
We'll be back on CRN, the PM show with Robert Conrad.